If you have a form with input field with number, like integer or float, and you want to introduce validation of minimum and maximum values, there's one thing you need to know, and I found out only recently about validation. That validation may work not as you expect it to work. So here's a demo project based on our quick admin panel, and ironically, that's the way I found out about that bug. It was reported by one of our customers that we generated wrong validation rules, apparently. So first I will show you what the problem or the bug is, and then what is the quick solution. So if you have input field with number, so in Blade it has input type number, and then you have a controller to store the data. In the controller you have form request or elsewhere validation rules, and rule is minimum 10, maximum 100. Seems okay, right? You expect that values like 23 or 45 would be valid, right? Let's try it out. So something, and for example 13, we save, and this is the validation error that comes up. The length must be at least 10 characters. We didn't specify anything about the characters, did we? We expected that minimum and maximum values work with numbers. But let's take a look at Laravel validation rules official documentation. Minimum value, the field under validation, must be a minimum value, which is exactly what we expect, right? And then, strings, numerics, arrays, and files are evaluated in the same fashion as the size rule. Okay, let's take a look at the size rule. So apparently all the field types are under the same size rule, so you can apply that to file size, to numeric size, and all of that. And in the middle of that paragraph, you can find this. The attribute must also have the numeric or integer rule. So if you want the validation to work as numbers, you have to specify the validation rule for numbers. So now if we do numeric and then other rules and try it out again, we save and it is successfully saved. And if we try to specify something outside of that box, outside of 100, it should be validated then, and this time validated as a number, may not be greater than 100. And that is applicable to both integer field and float field. The thing is that if you validate minimum and maximum, you have to specify numeric or integer. So my overall global advice to you is to read the documentation, because sometimes in the middle of that documentation there is a small detail that may change how your application works. If you want to get more tips like this one as I learned them myself in Eloquent or Laravel, I advise you to subscribe to my weekly newsletter and I will show you that. So this is the last issue. In my newsletter I compile all the links from my YouTube channel for the last week, anything I launch, and then I compile the links from the community. Usually it's around 20 links on different topics around Laravel or PHP or maybe Vue.js or maybe some effective development. So I advise you to subscribe to that. It comes out every Thursday. The link is on the screen and in the description of this video. And see you guys in other videos.